Everyone around the world knows the Netherlands as a place with windmills, canals, and tulips. And that's exactly what visitors will find when they go there today. Along with the country's beautiful gardens and gorgeous views, tourists will also find vibrant urban areas like Amsterdam that are full of museums that show off a long history of artists like Rembrandt and Van Gogh. There are also many castles and cityscapes from the Middle Ages, a 13,800-acre national park, and a system for controlling the tides that has been called one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Stay with us and find out the best places to visit in the Netherlands. But before we get started, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you can keep up to date with all our latest destinations. Number 10. Utrecht. Utrecht is a bustling city with a charming old town filled with historical buildings. It is impossible to miss the 112-meter-high Dom Tower. The tallest and oldest church tower in all of Holland was built here during the 14th century. The Oudergracht, or Old Canal, is the most popular of Utrecht's canals and is truly magnificent. There are many restaurants, cafes, and residential homes along the canal. Take a boat tour or explore Utrecht in kayaks with a local guide to experience the city from a different point of view and make your time in this medieval city unforgettable. The Dutch National Railway Museum, founded in 1927, is for those who like trains and are interested in learning about the history of the Dutch railroads. There are many different kinds of antiques in the collection, like passenger and freight trains, trams, and waiting rooms. Would you like to relax for a while? Visit Wilhelmina Park, which is a great location for summertime barbecues, picnics, and sunbathing. In the park just next to you, relax while watching geese and ducks. Welcome to the magnificent De Haar Castle, the biggest castle in Holland. In contrast to ponds and canals, it has towers, gates, and suspension bridges, and is surrounded by 135 acres of parks and gardens. You can visit the castle to explore a few of the chambers and the Great Hall. There are 200 rooms in this beautiful castle, which underwent renovation between 1892 and 1912. Number 9. Zaanse Schans. Visit the town of Zaanse Schans, west of Amsterdam, if you're looking for a day trip. You can take the bus, a car, or even a bicycle to get there. Visiting this old town is like taking a trip through time, since it captures what life was like in Holland in the 17th and 18th centuries. There are 11 original windmills, houses, and handicraft factories that you can visit. The iconic windmills that decorate the countryside here are also open from inside, providing an educational look at the technology behind wind energy. Some of these windmills can produce oil, cocoa, or paint, while others were built to cut wood. With the use of antique machine tools, you can also see how the well-known traditional Dutch shoes known as clogs are created. They have been around since the 13th century, are very comfortable, and fit your feet perfectly. You can explore Zaanse Schans on foot, by bike, or from the water. There are several boats that cruise the river and offer views of the town and the fields around it, where cows are grazing. Number 8. Marken. Marken, a former fishing village, is now one of the most picturesque locations in the Netherlands, owing in large part to its quaint wooden houses. The Dutch, who lived in a region near rivers, historically raised their houses on artificial hills and eventually on stakes. These houses are unique and cannot be found anywhere else. The Afsluitdijk, a water engineering development that extends 32 kilometers and is situated within a single hour's drive of the village of Marken, has effectively eliminated floods in the region. It was opened to the public between 1927 and 1933 and is now considered one of Holland's most popular tourist attractions. With the completion of a 1.6 kilometer long embankment in 1957, the island of Marken was transformed into a peninsula. Anyone in a car, on a bike, or on foot may make the journey. Be sure to stop by the Wave, a monument to the devastating flood that destroyed the village of Marken in 1916, during your stroll around the town. A wooden shoe factory, where traditional clogs are still created, is another must-see. A few of these pairs are also available to buy. Don't forget to check out the Horse of Marken Lighthouse, or Paard van Marken. It opened in 1839 and is still in use today. The stunning white tower, red dome, and surrounding countryside make it a photographer's dream. Number 7. Keukenhof. Keukenhof, sometimes called the Garden of Europe, is the spot to visit if you like Dutch tulips and other gorgeous flowers. For more than 7 decades, visitors have been able to enjoy this, the biggest floral park in the world. The bulbs are planted by hand every year by the garden staff. A wide variety of different plants and flowers, in addition to orchids, roses, lilies, and irises, may be found in these gardens. If you want to see the gardens, you'll have to time your visit for one of the 50 days they're open each year, mid-March to mid-May. Tulips and other flowers only have a short period of time in which to flower. The park is easily accessible from Amsterdam through public transportation, and if you're up for a lengthy ride, you can cycle there in about 2 hours. You may avoid waiting in line by purchasing tickets in advance. Number 6. Groningen. Skating on the frozen canal in the middle of Groningen in the winter makes the city one of the most picturesque in the Netherlands. Martini Tower, built in the 15th century, is a famous landmark in Groningen. This 97-meter-high structure offers breathtaking vantage points across the surrounding area. This tower is linked to the city's oldest church, the Martini Basilica, which was built in the 13th century. The Groninger Museum is a must-see because it has modern and contemporary art by Dutch and international artists. Noorderplaatsen is an English-style landscape park that is perfect if you want to get some fresh air while still being in the middle of the city. You can walk, jog, or rest on the grass while enjoying the park's ponds, which were formerly canals before it was turned into a park in the 19th century. Bourtange, a star-shaped fortification located less than an hour's drive east of Groningen, was finished by the end of the 16th century and now houses a museum of historical artifacts. The place has a magical, medieval vibe that will captivate you. Do not miss the St. Nicholas Parade through the streets of Groningen on December 5th. Countless people, both young and old, line the streets to see St. Nicholas and his group. 5. Rotterdam. Greetings and welcome to Rotterdam, the Netherlands' architectural capital. The Euromast, a 185-meter-high structure that faces the English-style Het Park and was completed in 1960, is the place to go for a breathtaking view of the city. The park's closeness to the city center makes it an ideal spot for picnic and barbecues. You should keep going to Delfshaven, a historic district that was saved during the 1940 bombing of Rotterdam. Cafes, restaurants, and boutiques abound in this charming area. It has a beautifully romantic vibe that is sure to win you over. Rotterdam is a significant port city, and its 1986 Maritime Museum is a must-see for everyone visiting the city. It's home to a number of landmarks, including a lighthouse and a number of historic ships, including the 228-meter-long SS Rotterdam, the former flagship of the Holland-America Line. The Market Hall is an impressive building that houses over 100 restaurants, as well as apartments, offices, and a grocery store. The cube residences built in Rotterdam in 1984 are among the city's most eye-catching buildings. The house features 3 levels, a total floor space of 100 square meters, and slanted walls throughout. A look inside one of the houses is open to everyone. The White House, built in 1898, is another outstanding building. The views from the top of this Art Nouveau landmark, Europe's first skyscraper at 43 meters in height, are nothing short of stunning. Number 4. Texel. Texel Island is the perfect destination for those seeking picturesque Dutch villages and breathtaking scenery. There are sandy beaches on the island for more than 30 kilometers. The Eiland Lighthouse, constructed on the island in 1864, is an iconic landmark. Take the time to climb the 118 steps to the top, where you'll be rewarded with a spectacular panorama. Texel Island is home to seals, and you can easily spot these animals lounging about on the mudflats. There are a few sandbanks where a lot of seals live the whole year. Keep your distance to avoid stressing them. It is said that there are as many sheep in Texel as citizens. It's nice to watch the sheep and lambs grazing on the grasslands. You should also stop at the port of the fishing village of Oudeschild. From here, you may go on an adventure to go shrimp fishing, or to see seals from a new vantage point. The Maritime and Beachcombing Museum in Den Burg is another interesting place to visit. Over the last 75 years, Texel's beach has gathered an amazing collection of artifacts. From Den Helder, a trip to Texel Island is quick and simple. You may ride the boat that departs every hour and just takes 20 minutes. Number 3. Hague. The Binnenhof, which is the center of Dutch politics, is a great place for tourists to start their journey. It is one of the oldest parliament buildings still in use in the world, and the Knights Hall is its most impressive part. Take a tour to see the beautiful interior for yourself. The Maurits House houses hundreds of paintings from the Dutch Golden Age, including Vermeer's world-famous Girl with a Pearl Earring. Inside, you can look at the works of great artists like Rembrandt and Rubens. Travel back in time at the Lauman Museum of Automobile History. There are more than 275 vintage automobiles there, some as rare as the opulent car previously owned by Winston Churchill, or as famous as the first James Bond car from Goldfinger. The collection dates back to 1934. Do you want to see some of the Netherlands' most beautiful places in just a few hours? Then go to Madurodam, a tiny theme park that has attractions inspired by both history and nature. A fantastic destination for tourists of all ages. This interactive park first opened its doors in 1952. Scheveningen is Holland's most well-known coastal resort. Only 5 kilometers from The Hague, it has beautiful beaches, several pavilions and restaurants, and a Ferris wheel that soars 42 meters into the air, providing visitors with breathtaking panoramas of the surrounding area. One of its 36 enclosed gondolas is the perfect place to enjoy a meal or a traditional English high tea. Number 2. Gouda. The Netherlands are known for their cheese, and Gouda is the most famous Dutch cheese. Visit the central square, called Marken, where you can find Gouda's cheese market, where local farmers have been selling their cheese since 1198. From April through the end of August, it takes place every Thursday morning. Stop by De Hague, a historic building built in 1668, where cheese was weighed before being sold. It is now home to a museum about the history of Gouda's cheese market. The magnificent Gothic town hall, built in 1450, is another attraction on the market square. On its wall is a chime that shows that Floris V, Count of Holland, gave Gouda the right to be a town. You can go just about everywhere in Gouda on foot. Relax at one of the charming cafes and get a syrup waffle. You will not regret it. Number 1. Amsterdam. Welcome to Amsterdam, the Netherlands' capital and one of the world's most romantic cities. Dam Square is a great place to start a tour of Amsterdam, since it is home to many famous landmarks, including the Royal Palace. Built as a city hall in the 17th century, you can go inside to view the 34-meter-long and 25-meter-high Citizens Hall and a number of other interesting rooms, such as bedrooms. Anyone interested in art will find Amsterdam to be a heavenly place. The Rijksmuseum, opened in 1798, is the most visited museum in the country. Inside, you'll find a collection of Dutch and international art from the last 8 centuries. Other significant museums are the Anne Frank House, where the Jewish wartime diarist and her family hid during World War II, and the Van Gogh Museum, which houses the world's biggest collection of paintings by this Dutch post-impressionist painter. Tickets tend to sell out quickly, so be sure to get yours early. If you like picnics and barbecues, or just want to relax, go to Vondelpark, which is Amsterdam's most popular park among both locals and tourists. It opened to the public in 1865. It is 47 hectares big, and you can visit it in authentic Dutch style by bike. Amsterdam has more than 100 kilometers of canals, making it the city with the most water in the world. The city's historic buildings and attractive bridges make Amsterdam an instant attraction at first sight. One of the canal trips is highly recommended since they are extremely romantic. Due to the small size of the Netherlands, all of these attractions and fun things to do are in a fairly small area, and the land is pretty flat. The highest elevation is barely 1,000 feet above sea level. As a result, it's very easy to do at least some of your sightseeing the Dutch way, by bike. In the Netherlands, many of the best places to visit and the biggest cities actively encourage people to use pedal power and give away free bikes so people can see the sights. No matter how you visit the Netherlands, you're sure to have a great time in one of the friendliest and most open-minded countries in Europe. If you want a specific destination, please write it down in the comments below, and the country with the most comments will be our next video. Don't forget to check out our newest channel, Relax in Travel, to bring some peace and nature into your life. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a good day.